Okay, pibaro kita pek ni ke video yang subahai pisah ni ke channel ke Tech Tutor Meghalaya belapen mi dekat SCSCE. Ikan tengah cunga kalong iba pediang pun kongwer, but haga ni ke video part perlog ngin ya le kinyat ki numerical problems. Tengah ni persyang kini jingkeli mentah. Te ke jingkeli paling kong. Two charges each of 1 microcoulomb but opposite in sign are 1 centimeter apart. Calculate the electric field at a point distant 10 cm from the midpoint on the axial line of the dipole. Ialah dangi draw kani ka diagram, a simple diagram for this question. Kumba jimbatai, we have two charges, give they 1 microcoulomb each. Let's say away they 1 microcoulomb. Keep in mind kani charge kilong opposite in sign and way but they minus 1 microcoulomb, right? These are the two charges hang ni. The distance between the two charges kadai 1 centimeter, right? And you have to calculate, alright, the electric field at a point distant kadai 10 centimeter from the midpoint on the axial line. So therefore, we'll have mini point hang ni. Let's say the point P, alright? And this point P here, this is my, alright, the dot in the center, Johnny dipole, which is O. Let me name this point O. Let me name this point A. Let me name this point B. So from O up till P, it is 10 centimeter. Okay, Shubo. So simple diagram just to understand. Okay, can you jingkali, kakali ke A, kapan ke A, alright? Then, you have to calculate, alright, the electric field at this. You have to calculate the electric field at this point P, alright? The mentang ini thought A kita balad given according to the question. Here, alright, the charge Q is equal to 1 microcoulomb. That is the charge, alright? And then we have this distance 1 centimeter, the distance U, the distance 2A. 2A is equal to 1 centimeter. And then next we have this distance 10 centimeter, the distance A, the distance UR, which is 10 centimeter. Fine? As you can see, minta baro kini lightly, alright, kinde in SI unit. Then nakatagadaw, minhaban calculate first, convert them first to SI unit. In SI unit, we charge on day 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb. Alright?
Same.
In SI unit, 1 centimeter is 10 to the power minus 2 meter. And the same thing with 10 centimeter in terms of meter a day, 10 to the power minus 1 meter. Alright? Diminta kini ngila ada in SI unit. Okay? Then now, on the action line, the formula no, the E is equal to 2P into R divided by, alright, 4 pi epsilon naught R square minus A square whole thing square. Okay? Kani deka formula chunka electric field on the axial line. Fila eventually baling I use the kind of formula, not the other formula kabade, alright, the other formula but the E is equal to 2P divided by 4 pi epsilon naught RQ. Can mau kani ka formula n kalang only and only if lada A is very very small as compared to R. Okay, this formula is only for this condition. Dimantang in the ped, alright, it a value jong A. Fine. Value jong A in our case here, alright, in our case here, lada 2A is equal to 1 centimeter. A no. A is equal to 0.5 centimeter. Right? If we look at R part, R is equal to 10 centimeter, 0.5 and 10 centimeter. Kita ngelaban compare, kampat tayo pair hado kata-kata. Okay. Ladangi ong toy 0.5 but 100 centimeter, hang ta te ka don chia pair ka ba hep ha. Minta kadang datang 0.5, alright? 0.5 but 10. So therefore, alright, we will not use this formula. Okay, now takadaw belong very careful, alright? How kapor kumno finuse ya kanika form junga formula, and when will you use this form of the formula? It is only the kabatip ikanika comparison, alright? Junga nika distance hangye, alright? Juni distance A gabang yo nanye, alright? And this distance R hangye. Fine. There, in you carry on with the solution. Here, hajaka jong P, I will write the formula jong P, which is Q into 2A into R divided by, alright, 4 pi epsilon naught R square minus A square whole thing square. Okay. Hangye again, ako abang clarify again another important thing, which is the value only 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. If you still remember, okay, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, the value ka no. You will still remember k is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and k is equal to 9 into 10 to the power, 9 to the power 9. The value kaday katay. Okay, so what juklet ika value jong 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So we already know it is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. Alright. Diminta ila yo ano di kini ki values ki jong ni. Alright. Ila tip ke value jong Q. Jong 2A ila tip. R also ila tip. And 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught ila tip. So diminta in you put in ki values and in calculate ke value jong U E. Okay, so therefore, E is equal to, right, 9 into 10 to the power 9, okay, into 2, into Q, which is 10 to the power minus 6, into 2A, which is 10 to the power minus 2, alright, into R, which is 10 to the power minus 1, divided by, okay, R square. R square reading, no, what is the value of R? R is 10 to the power minus 1, okay, and square itu minus what is A lada kuma omane is once again kano the value jong A kuma atit manay on 2A is equal to 1 centimeter, then A is equal to 0.5, alright, in terms of meter kaday 10 to the power minus 2 whole thing square, alright, again whole thing square. Dong the next line ada khen your A is equal to 2 into 9 along 18, alright. The unit 10 to the power 9 and A bishwa. The minta 10 to the power minus 6 into 10 to the power minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 1. What happens to the power? Iki power ngin at load baro, so minus 6 plus minus 2 plus minus 1 when you're no, when you're 10 to the power minus 9, alright. So now, next line part 10 to the power minus 1 whole thing square when you're 10 to the power minus 2 minus 0.5 square when you're 0.25 and 10 to the power minus 2 square when you're into 10 to the power minus 4 whole thing square, alright. E is equal to 10 to the power 9 into 10 to the power minus 9. 9 minus 9 will give me 0, alright. So 10 to the power 0, which is 1. So therefore 18, chadrong isa astang 18, chapo pan, I can take common no, okay. Between this term and this term, and shim common no, you 10 to the power minus 2, fine?
Yes.
There, and bodong, we bracket hang to 10 to the power minus 2, and buhabar. Po mtang sa astang 1 minus 0.25 into 10 to the power minus 2. Okay? Nalashim no R shaba, no takadaw sa astang R po. Whole thing square. Now, A is equal to 18 divided by 10 to the power minus 2 square along 10 to the power minus 4. Hapo apart within the bracket you have 1 minus 0.25 into 10 to the power minus 2 and say 0.0025. Okay. There again whole thing square. Now E is equal to 18 into 10 to the power 4. Ladang ra ini 10 to the power minus 4 shadron kala 10 to the power 4. And suppose the value is equal to 0.9975 whole thing square. If you ini value suppose, alright, it is small. It is already 0.9975. Ladang square lay kandang red show. So therefore, approximately, okay, we can write E is equal to 18 into 10 to the power 4 in bracket ilaban tho approx. Fine. Namar baladang divide do A berdit M ke value kanum pair than rahang ni. Alright. So therefore ngalaban tho ke answer ke day 18 into 10 to the power 4. Don't forget the unit. Okay. Don't forget the unit hang ni. The unit is Newton per coulomb. Alright? And in bracket, we thought approximate kit. Fine? So, therefore, this is the answer jangka jingkili kaba nikong. Tinipit sa jingkili kaba R. Jingkili kaba R kong two charges of plus 20 microcoulomb and minus 20 microcoulomb are held 1 centimeter apart. Now calculate electric field at a point on the equatorial line at a distance 50 centimeter from the center of the dipole. Alright. Timintang ini try bandro malumala. Alright. Ikan ni ke diagram. Nampak ni jingkili. Nampak so tu ke jingkili ke kali sepangkai. Te ngidan atli charges. Ngidan o plus 20 microcoulomb. Alright. Ngidan but minus 20 microcoulomb. Fine. Tekine ki atli charges. Let's say this one and this one. Fine. They are held 1 centimeter apart. They 1 centimeter. Ini 1 centimeter. Ini distance. Fine. Then now, on calculate electric field at a point on the equatorial line. If you still remember equatorial line, they hang near at this point belong perpendicular line. Alright. Not only perpendicular. Keep in mind, they perpendicular. Okay. Only perpendicular bisector. Alright. They perpendicular bisector jong new dipole. So therefore, this is the center of the dipole. Then, new point, let's say we don't have a point P. Alright. And according to the question gomba, alright, it is at a distance 50 centimeter from the center. Alright. The distance is sun power centimeter. They hang near in the peccan jingkili if you compare. Alright. Compare you need 50 centimeter but ini 1 centimeter. Compare yau, alright, compare yau A baru R. Compare yau 2A baru R ta. Yau 2A, okay, ini 1 centimeter di 2A. 2A but new R, 50 centimeter. Do you see that this 2A is very, very small as compared to R? Alright, so hang ni you can say use your condition. Okay, how can you jingkili? You can say use your condition that 2A is very, very small as compared to R. Okay. It is on the equatorial line, so therefore means using equatorial formula. Means using equatorial formula. Dimintapan in ya tong ini persano but solving kali. So ningkong here, right? What is given is Q is equal to 20 microcoulomb. Alright. Next thing is 2A is equal to 1 centimeter, and next thing is R is equal to 50 centimeter. Once again, kini barokhat kimde in SI. Okay, in haban calculate in terms of SI. So convert ki barok. This will equal to 20 into 10 to the power minus 6 coulomb. This will be equal to 10 to the power minus 2 meter, and this will be equal to 50 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. Okay, the meantime we have got them in SI unit. So therefore, let us calculate. Since 2A is very, very small as compared to R, alright, therefore, field intensity at a point on equatorial line is E is equal to P divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R cube. Okay. Benta hang ni ini use the formula belong. How can you form? Okay. Here benta yang thought instead of P and use the formula P is equal to Q into 2A divided by 4 pi epsilon naught RQ. Alright, we already know that K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. Alright, thì hàng này nghĩa là đập lập rồi dia bar rồi cái values trong Q rồi nghĩa là tiếp 2A nghĩa là tiếp R nghĩa là tiếp but trong 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught nghĩa là tiếp. Thì mình ta nghe input rồi cái value ha cái formula nghe file cái value trong U. So mình ta nghe input ở cái values baru. So E is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 into into P, it is actually Q into 2A hangni. Okay. So Q, the value from Q day 20 into 10 to the power minus 6. Alright. And the value from 2A day 10 to the power minus 2 divided by, okay, the value of R per day, if still remember, day 50. Okay. And the value of R day 50 into 10 to the power minus 2. Alright. Whole thing cubed. Okay, the next line per there in the E is equal to, so 20 into 9 along 180. Alright, 10 to the power 9, once again I'm going to leave it, into 10 to the power minus 6 and 10 to the power minus 2. Now combine kini 10 to the power minus 8 divided by, alright, 50 cube. 50 cube ka value dekat no? So 50 cube. The value of 50 cube kada 1, 2, 5, 0, 0, 0, alright, into 10 to the power minus 2 cube but kada 10 to the power minus 6. And the E is equal to 180. 10 to the power 9 into 10 to the power minus 8. Now combine kini ngayon into 10 to the power 1, which is 10, divided by 1, 2, 5. Lightly 0, lightly 0, I can write it as into 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power minus 6. Fine. The E is equal to 1800 divided by 125. 10 to the power minus 3 into 10 to the power minus 6 ngayon into 10 to the power minus. The E is equal to 1800 into 10 to the power 3. 10 to the power minus 3 should wrong 10 to the power 3 divided by 125. And if you calculate the value, you say 1.44 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per coulomb. Right? The Canadian jawab jong ni gajengkali kaba R. Timintay ni pet sa next question. Okay. Timintay ni pet ni gajengkali malay kong. But what is the magnitude of the electric field intensity due to a dipole of moment? Alright. The Canadian value, alright, Canadian value on dipole moment. I dipole of moment, Canadian value on dipole moment at a point distant 1 meter. So this 1 meter is the value of R from the center of the dipole. Okay. When the line joining the point to the center of the dipole makes an angle 60 degree with the dipole axis. The alright, is a question based on electric field, alright, at any point. Come there on the axial, come there on the equatorial, but it is at any point. So let us draw a diagram, alright, simple diagram naman tayo ni. So if I have here, this is my charge. So if I have here, let's say this is my charge plus Q and this is my charge minus Q, alright. This is my dipole. The distance of the dipole is 2A, right? Then now, this is the center of the dipole. So I have a point P here, let's say, alright. I have a point P and this point P is it is at a distance 1 meter. This is my distance 1 meter and this line, alright, the line joining the point, this point to the center of the dipole, from the point to the center of the dipole, it makes an angle 60 degrees. So this is my 60 degree. Fine. So, ganyan is a simple diagram for our question. So now, let us write down what has been given. Okay. So here, inipet hanya ada alpha dipole moment P is equal to 2 into 10 to the power minus 8. Sorry. Minus 8 coulomb meter. Alright. Next thing that has been given is the value of R, which is equal to 1 meter. And next thing what's been given is the value of theta, which is equal to 60 degree. So as you can see, kung mafiihang ni kini value paro kide in terms of SI. So kamut nilalaban penan kambit ya ka formula menta te lada fidang kenma ka formula jong electric field at any point kade E is equal to P by 4 pi epsilon naught R cube root over 3 cos square theta plus 1. Okay. Te hang ni kumbang lada bit shakmat ke numerical problems ka value jong 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught kade 9 into 10 to the power 9. Value jong P ngilayo, value jong R ngilayo, value jong theta ngilayo, tinggal la pen kambit direct haning in your substitute no. So E is equal to 9 into 10 power 9 into P, which is 2 into 10 power minus 8, alright? And then divided by R cube day, 1 cube, root over 3 cos square theta day 60 degree plus 1. Okay, so E is equal to 2 9s are 18, 10 to the power 9 into 10 to the power minus 8 when you're into 10 divided by 1 cube day 1 divided by 1 is always the number itself. Next, within the root 3 cos of 60 degree the value day 1 by 2. But don't forget it is square. So 1 by 2 square plus 1. So solve yung value po yung root 18 into 10 no 180 root over 3 1 by 4 plus 1. Okay. Okay. So next line your E is equal to 180. Po yung root ladang ishim LCM 4 3 plus 4. So E is equal to 4 na po inalaban sa siya barjong root 180 divided by 2 root over 7. Okay, so if you calculate this value, you have 180, you get 90 into root 7, or you have the value to be equal to 238.1 Newton per coulomb. Ini di ka answer jumpa question number 3. An electric dipole or dipole moment 4 into 10 power minus 5 kilometers. So this is my dipole moment at the palpa. Is placed in a uniform electric field of 10 to the power minus 3 Newton per coulomb. So this is the value jonka electric field making an angle of 30 degrees. So this is the value of theta. With the direction of the field, determine the torque exerted by the electric field on the dipole. So, hangni iso to bang yaban calculate yaka torque experienced by the dipole in an electric field. So, let's write down ki a ladap ay pahaganijingkali. So, here we have P, which is the dipole moment, is equal to 4 into 10 power minus 5 kilometer. Next thing, the electric field has been given, which is 10 to the power minus 3 Newton per coulomb. And lastly, the value of theta, which is 30 degree. So we will use the formula torque is equal to P sine theta. Okay. So you put the value of kini paro hangni, and you'll see it is equal to 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 into 10 to the power minus 3 sine of 30 degree. The value hanging in your 4, 10 to the power minus 5 into 10 to the power minus 3 in your into 10 to the power minus 8. Sine of 30 degree can become no? They 1 by 2. Alright. So the value hanging in your torque is equal to 2 into 10 to the power minus 8 Newton meter. Kani di ka value ka answer jong ni ka jinkali ka ba sa. Ti ngayon kem pilas ngotho ikiti numerical problems kilong very simple. Tingin sa siyempre ipi ko ka video kabangan batay pat chapangka electric flux. Kublish 1.